What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video and a winter coat. It's cold as fuck out here, man. Shit, what the hell is going on? You know, April 18th and it's cold. I was like, shit, ain't there some stuff? Man, I might have to pray to the great pumpkin about this. But anyway, though, right? Don't sleep on those Russell Wilson types. Don't sleep. Those dudes, people be messing up with them. Be thinking, oh, they corny, they this or that. Nah. And let me shout out Master Teacher BGS. He had a clip, which I'll put in the description box, talking about, one of the reasons Sierra chose him. And she said it. I'll let you see the clip. And he had a great point, because if we're talking in the black community, let's keep it a buck. This ain't overall. If you non-black, well, you're about to find out. If you didn't already know this nuance in the black community, you're about to find out. But, let's just be real. Your skin complexion and your hair grade mean a lot to sisters, to black women. There ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about that shit. A whole lot. That's a major thing. That's why I said, and I said this before, you got these young guys online, but primarily young white guys, thinking they coming up with something with the black pill and looks matter and all that shit. Man, that's always been the case in the black community, man. Shit. As far as what my grandmother taught me, at least going back to the early part of the century, probably the last century, that's always been an issue. Hell, only thing recent is some chocolate brothers have come in there as far as what women want, and even them, they got to be damn near physically perfect. Let's just be honest. Let's just keep it honest. And I'm talking specifically in the black community. Let's just be real and stuff. Because even now, you look at some of the superstars, women, like sisters especially, going crazy over. Michael Ealy, Boris Kojo, Shamar Moore, Amari Hardrick. I mean, that shit ain't changed and stuff. So that's always been something. And Master Teacher BGS pointed that out. When they talk about pretty boys in the black community, if you talking to a black woman and say that shit, they ain't thinking about something like the latest fashion model or something. They immediately say, oh, light complexion, good hair. Come on, man. Shit, other brothers had to come up with some swag to compete with that shit. Because let's be real, swag is some real shit, but all brothers don't have it. And then I'll get in, with Russell Wilson. He's from that more upper middle class background. His father was an attorney. Shoot, he wasn't no regular dude. That dude was more bougie. Shoot, probably closer to the boule class. Shoot. But you know what, real quick, because I know some people going to want me to talk about Russell Wilson and Sierra, not as far as what he represents, but himself. There's two things about it. One, who gives a shit he's got with Sierra? If that's what he wants, that's what he wants. Two, you don't really know him, because people be trying to put Future over him, but honestly, and this is what I'm going to mainly get into just overall, you don't know if Future got a higher count. All you know is Future got more babies than him. That's all you know. You don't know. You don't know. Because something I peeped about those Russell Wilson types, even fitting his phenotype. Yeah, nah, you know what? They're gonna have that that look like they mixed with white or something. Yeah. And yeah, they might not throw on a tattoo or some shit like that. Yeah, okay. They looking corny, cornballs, all that. Other dudes be calling them corny. Man, those dudes, you don't know how much pussy they be getting. Not all of them, of course, but I've met a whole lot of players who, damn, they were in that Russell Wilson archetype. And the only difference between them and some of the street players, because, that sweet swag and all that is good, they smarter about using a condom. I'm dead serious. But they be getting theirs, and they also smart about which women they're going to fuck with. They were way smarter, but they be getting down. In fact, those are the ones be in the shadow world for real. And they'll make it more classy. They the ones be in like those like invite only parties and shit. Or part of like that whatchamacallit, travel group that's really a front for a shadow world group. Or being all that exclusive ass shit with some fine ass women. Cause I've dealt with that. Now I told y'all. I started out in a street environment, lived in a working class environment, but started in high school when I started seeing how they roll, because I've been to some Jack and Jill shit, you be like, wait a minute. Yeah, that dude look all corny and shit, but they be getting some. In fact, I think I gotta check on this dude. There was a dude who was in Different World. He played like Whitley's boyfriend. I think I know that dude. I gotta check. Like, not buddies, but I think I know him from way back in the day. If it's the same person, he out here nothing but women. You don't sleep on those dudes. But let me say one thing about Russell Wilson himself before I get into my main point. Let me say one last thing. You really don't know what his end game is. You don't know what his end game is, because when families, especially black upper to higher class, they calculating this shit. Especially because he ain't even first generation and shit. They calculating this shit. They are calculating. And you got to take anything they say with a grain of salt anyway. Because I know they made that big deal about waiting for marriage and all of that shit. We don't know if they did that. Seriously. When you're dealing with that class, man, take what they say. They about the show. They about that image and everything. You got to take what they say with a grain of salt. And Russell Wilson, yeah. The thing was, he's probably smart enough to mess with some women who ain't like trying to like blow him up or something like that. And that's a normal when you dealing with this shit. Calculating as hell. Another light-skinned brother, Barack Obama. People call him corny, all that. People don't know how he was getting down. I mean, there were some rumors here and there, but at the end of the day, you still don't really know. You gotta keep that in mind. So that's him. Now we talking about Russell Wilson types, dudes, some light-skinned black men who might come off as corny. They don't have the tats, might have that certain grade of hair. Because I thought about this one dude. He's an attorney. Now. And he was very athletic, super athlete, in fact. He played like college lacrosse. Very good attorney and all of that. I gotta watch what I say because I think he's still practicing. So, but the women were talking about how they was getting with him. I only knew about him and one woman. The women were talking about his ass. I ain't hear nothing from him about who he was really getting with. The women were like spreading that shit. They were talking about it. There's a few dudes, man. And there's some dudes who like attorneys, all of that, and they don't got that swag and all of that. Just to be clear, if you got swag, hey, that's a powerful weapon. I recommend you develop it. That's the game in the black community, having that swag and stuff. But let's just be real. Every man don't have it, just like every brother don't have that ability to hit that jumper or dunk. And there's nothing wrong with that. But let's just be real. If a black man got this certain phenotype, certain complexion, certain hair grade, please. Only thing is, because of his position, especially if he's upper class. Like if he's lower class or something with that, he'll probably tell you about all the shit he doing, had the tats, all that shit. Upper class, please. Shoot, they be tearing up, and and some people say, well, if they talking just about black women, they say, no, black women just want that swag. No. Like, let me shout out Master Teacher BGS again. He really, hey, Master Teacher, you need to get that octane thing out because people need to understand that shit. Because as someone who's dealt with multiple classes, like if you're dealing with like the the working class, lower class, and some like semi-professionals, yeah, you might need a certain level of swag. Let's just be real. That's some real shit. I told you about the time I met this woman by phone back in the 90s and stuff, and this before you could share pictures or do FaceTime, way before. And she didn't really know what I looked like. It wasn't easy passing pictures. And she was like, all conversations were going good. We had a few conversations, but then she was like, you got an earring, you got tattoos. I was like, no. All of a sudden, conversations went down. Okay. But she was looking for that swag and shit. But at the same time, that's her. That's her class level. And I've dealt with some women like that. They'll look at me. I don't got no tattoos or anything. My mother didn't have her ears pierced, so I ain't gonna pierce mine. So shit. So, you know, I ain't even dealing with that. You know? But there's still like just in the black community, there's a whole bunch of sisters like more upper class, or they might be considered nerdy or something. They ain't in all of that shit. They just need like how you look and they click with your personality. That's it. That's it. They ain't no deeper than that. Ain't no deeper than that. Right? And especially if you deal with the upper classes, because I've said constantly, like, the women I get along with now, it's not even so much a swag, because I don't, you know, people say I'm cool and everything, but I don't have that stereotypical, like, fly haircut and, you know, earrings, all that shit. And I'm good with it. But I notice the type of women I get tend to be more upper class. They tend to be more professionals. BGS will call them 92s. And let me be clear about that, because I see some people will argue with him about that, thinking the 92s is just about their physical appearance. It's like, no, it's 92s. Those are professional women and stuff. Shit, those like the 92 climbers might have came out of the hood or something, but like the natural 92s, they were just born into like two professional parents or something, and those are usually the ones that show the most love to me and stuff. You know, they ain't looking for no tat. They don't care about no tats or, you know, that swag. In fact, you can't even like talk street around them hardly. So it's like, But you get those women like that. You get the ones who might be considered Oreos. Seriously, there's a lot of nuances. It ain't just one community and stuff, man. You got. I gotta find something, because I wrote something a while ago. Let me see if I still got that. I'll put a link to it. It's an article I wrote about 4 Black Americas. So, you know, and that plays a big difference. So, but if one is tapped into one of them in particular, you know, the more upper class and stuff, shit, they can get theirs and stuff. Now, that's just within Black America. You get those Russel Wilson types. They actually appeal more interracially, especially to more educated members of other groups. Keep that in mind. So one thing I found with those types, Russell Wilson types, they even fit that phenotype and stuff. They could have a sister, but then the next night be boning that Middle Eastern woman. In fact, I know a dude, he took a Middle Eastern woman's virginity. And he was right there. He was in that Russell Wilson range and stuff. I mean, plenty of them. Plenty of them are players, just straight players and shit. You know, they can get that Asian woman. They can get whatever, the Hispanic woman. They actually appeal on another level to a multitude of women. So, you know, you know what? And they still might be called corny or whatever. They don't have that swag. Well, they don't need it for many women. So I'm like, shit. That's the deepness of it. I'll tell you, don't sleep on them. Now, like I said, one of the things is, like, if you're talking about somebody who's professional, or, you know they got to keep a certain image publicly. Oh, they ain't going to drop babies all over the place. You know, they ain't going to do stuff. And they ain't going to know if you're talking like anybody who's worked in like some professional environments too. Professional environment. We talking about the attorneys. We talking about like hedge fund firms or stuff like that, financial firm, mortgage industry. You gotta have a certain vibe to you. You gotta have a certain vibe and everything, and you gotta learn how to keep quiet about some shit. That's why a lot of them dip into the shadow world, you know. But don't sleep on them. See, a lot of dudes trying to sleep on them and everything. I'm like, those dudes be getting theirs. They just gonna be more quiet about it. they ain't gonna have that little look be on IG and shit. Or if they on IG, it's all about business. It's all about business. That's the real deal. That's just the reality and everything. You know, I'm telling you, don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. And like I said, I'm gonna see if I still have it, because there was a lot of articles on my Rom Wills stuff. This from years ago that I either pulled them off for my book that I called I'm Not Playing, or I don't know, various reasons. I still got stuff up there though. I still got plenty of stuff up there. But that's the only thing, man. Just don't sleep on those types. They might, hey, you know what? They might not be fucking Keisha and shit, or Laquita or something, and that's cool. Yeah, but they fucking Jennifer. They fucking Jennifer. They fucking Olivia. You know. They fucking Alicia. Shit. I'm telling you, you just gotta peep it. And that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And stuff. Because I think I only had one, like, well, I better not call her name. I don't know what she doing now. And she's still unaccounted for, so she might have Ron's baby or something, but damn. But yeah, don't sleep. I'm telling you now, don't sleep on those Russell Wilson types. Don't make any assumptions. Don't be, you call them corny and shit, but let's just be real, man. If you're talking about dealing with real power on this planet, and the people really doing stuff, you probably call them corny too. But they ain't worried about no financial shit. You know, shit, they operating at another level. I knew a brother who was rolling like, he was rolling with some white guys and stuff. He, you know, and you know, these guys got like sports cars. These upper middle class white guys. These upper middle class rich white guys. Hell, I knew some of them too. They rolling on a different level. They rolling on a different level and stuff. Like, I could drop some names. I could drop some names. So, yeah, and that's the same thing within the black community. Yeah, like I said, now I've bigged up street guys. I've bigged up, yeah, it's some if you out here in the streets and shit, or more lower class, you know, working class, yeah, definitely. But when you get to a certain level, boom. Indeed, you know, there's this talk about shout out Kevin Samuels and stuff, because he's seen it. He knows when you're at a certain level, it's a certain different thing to it. That's why a lot of these women talking about they want a high value man. I was like, I might not get them and stuff. In fact, I'm gonna tell you what, there's a lot of nuances in the black community that's just different from the overall thing. I don't really, because I got guys from all over the world reading my stuff, so I keep shit very general and stuff. But if we're talking about just black community, that's a whole other thing. There's a whole lot of other shit going forward, you know. And indeed, it seemed to be the same thing in any country where you know, blacks are a minority. It seems to be the same thing, you know. So it's deeper. It's deeper nuances. So anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. Get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.